Now, SPM results are out this morning, and I have a statistic here. We have 11,289 straight A students across the nation. Congratulations to all of you who worked hard to gain your straight A's. Now that you're off high school, what is next? There are many options for you out there. You can probably go out and gain some working experience first, or you can choose to further your studies. And in what course? In what do you want to do, a vocation, or do you want to go for a tertiary education? Well, we have some experienced educationists here with us today, and we'll be discussing your options with them. Please help me welcome Dr Pradeep Nair, who's the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Taylor's University. We have Puan Sanum, who's the Principal of Beaconhouse, Lethia, and we also have Johan, who's the Business Development Manager of Beaubelle Academy. Welcome on the show, guys. So now that the high school leavers, they're off high school, what are some of their options? Like, let's say if they go to Taylor's University, what will your counselors tell them?
Okay. First of all, congratulations to the 400 and something thousand Malaysians that have completed their SPM successfully. And I think it's certainly something they should be very, very proud of.
Definitely.
Both to those who have done very well and those maybe who may not have done as well as they had expected to be. I think there's nothing to be concerned about, because this is just one step before many more steps.
Definitely.
Towards a
But I mean, for a 17-year-old, that seems to be like the step, the major step that they have to take before they find their path in life.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I think to your question, once they've finished Form 5, the options really are to undertake a pre-university level education.
Yes.
And there are many types of pre-university level education. And I think one of the things I'd like to share this morning is the fact that the different types of pre-university education actually cater to different learning styles of the students. There are pre-university education programs that are suited more to students who are very studious, these are the kind of students where parents don't really need to tell them to pick up a book and go and study.
Like our two students earlier, I think they're inherently smart.
Yeah, well, the two students earlier looked fairly balanced, I must say.
Okay.
But there are the very studious students, the very hardworking students who excel in exams. Now, an A-level qualification or an SPM would suit this type of students, because it's very exam-based, it's very intense, and the success depends largely on a final examination that one would need to take. So that's on one extreme of this continuum. Somewhere in the middle, you have matriculation courses like the South Australian matriculation. You have foundation programs that have a very balanced assessment system between a continuous assessment and a final examination. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, you would have the American degree transfer programs, the Canadian pre-university programs, and to some extent even the IB, which suit more the social type of learners. And increasingly, there are more and more Form 5 students that learn better in a very social environment. So my advice is choose your pre-university program according to your known learning style.
Okay. All right. That's really good advice, I think. And I personally did the American transfer program, but I didn't go to America after that because I found that just studying in books and with books and whatnot didn't suit me. So I think a pre-U program, a matriculation program, if you didn't do well in school, I think that will definitely suit you in a way.
Well, in terms of just sheer numbers, I think the majority of them would undertake a foundation or a matriculation type program, either an Australian type matriculation program if you're going into the private universities or colleges.
Okay.
And of course a smaller number would choose an American degree transfer program or a Canadian pre-university program, largely because it suits their learning styles. I've known people who are very social learners who have gone into A-levels and struggled. I've also found people who are very, very studious who have gone into an American degree program and kind of had a bit of a culture workshop for the first semester or so.
You know what, Doctor? I'll keep your thoughts for a minute because we're going to go live right now to SMK TVBI, and our roving reporter Lynn actually has a parent and a student there, and we're going to talk to them. So it's over to you, Lynn. Let's hear what they have to say.
Thank you again, Belinda. This is Lynn reporting live from Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Tamatun Dr. Ismail, and we have a lot of happy faces right here. Right now we have Abdul Hakim that has straight A's again. How do you feel right now?
I feel quite grateful and thankful to my parents and teachers and friends for supporting me through every decision I make.
What plans do you have right after this?
I think I'm going to continue with mechanical engineering, like my father over here.
And we've actually heard from Mom that your brothers are all engineers.
Yeah, except for my sister. She's an architecture.
Wow. And what do you think about your son's decision? What do you think about that?
No, I'm happy that they're doing engineering because I'm an engineer myself. Then my two twin sons are also now doing internship, also doing mechanical engineering, and I also want to follow. So I must be doing something right now.
Wow! And do you think that what your son did was expected?
I believe so. You know, I had full confidence because the mother.
Because he's very hardworking, and then good boy also. He studies very, very hard, right?
Yeah. I'm so proud about Hakim.
And what do you think about his plans for the future?
Plans for the future.
Are you all the way supportive towards?
Yes.
And do you actually get advices from your parents on what to study?
Yeah.
Do you have to struggle on picking what subject to go for?
Not actually.
So it's a clear decision for you that engineering all the way through. Would you like to shout out to your teachers and your friends and family?
Thank you to my teachers who taught me, Mr. Yu, Waniza, who always been there for me. Yeah. And my headmaster, thank you.
And one more question, are you actually pressured when every single family member of yours is actually an engineer on the way? Are you pressured I have to study that?
Yeah, a bit. But that's what keeps me going.
You're actually personally passionate about engineering itself and from the environment that your family grew up, your father is doing.
Yeah.
Do you actually bring him to show him what you're involved in terms of work-wise? How do you memupuk this knowledge of engineering among your children?
Actually, I used to be very busy, so most of the work actually is done by my wife. So I'm happy, but I think what's important is the commitment, the dedication, and the passion.
Any last words from yourself on what you feel about your results and where you go from here?
I don't know to say. I'm speechless actually.
Still speechless. You must see how he receives his results. He was like, wow. And then after that, he ran to Mama and gave her a big cozy hug. Okay, and then I will come back to you soon again with more updates. And it's back to you to the studio, Belinda. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lynn. And now, we were just talking off air just now with our panel of guests here, and Puan Sanum as a principal of a high school. What do you think the role of parents, especially after the students leave high school, what are the roles of the parents in helping mold them into, their potential, to maximize their potential?
I think parents play the most important role in a child's life. They are the ones who are going to plant the seeds. While the schools will facilitate this growth. So if you look at students now, they are not what they were about 20 years ago. Nowadays, children know what they want. So parents have to listen very carefully with their hearts and their minds to see what the child really wants. Of course, at the same time, keeping an eye on their budget. So let's say if you are interested in the medical line, right? So from a very young age, you will already know the child's interest in the science subjects, and things are going on. You can't wait until you get your SPM results and then decide, okay, let's see what we want to do. You don't do that. So you start at a very young age, from the age of 4, 5, 6. You know, the children, they will change their mind. They will, from very young age, some of them want to become mermaids, you know. And then by the time they are 15 years old, they already more or less know that there's a life to look at, you know. There's a future to look at. And is this what they want? Is this what they've decided? And the parents can, when they're in 16, 17, you already begin to raise awareness that you have to make a decision. That is the most important decision, which you cannot turn back, you know. It's once and for all at that point in time. So many education fairs, so many different courses. The sky is the limit.
That's right.
So
many options.
So many options. It is glorious. It's wonderful.
Yeah. So we're looking at that, the parents of Abdullah just then, the straight A students. The whole entire family are engineers, and he is going to pursue engineering as well. Do you think it is more pressure from the family, or do you think, you know, sometimes it sort of rubs off the interest in the family?
I can tell you one thing: the children nowadays, they are not the children of days gone by, you know. Pressure from you look at your brother, all your brothers, everybody is an engineer, and you know that it's a good line, right? You know that you can make your buck there. You know that you'll be happy. The children nowadays, they are aware of exactly what they want. So, like a school, a school will facilitate this growth. So it's the parents, the key role. It's they who decide, you know, finally. So you don't have to pressure the child to become a doctor or an engineer, but you can do it from a very young age. Nobody will know the hidden agenda.
That's right. Now, Johan, I know you're a bit, your academy is a little bit more towards vocation, like makeup and hairstyle and spa therapist and whatnot. And a lot of times, well, when you tell your parents that you want to be a makeup artist, that probably would be the last thing on their mind for you to do, right? So how would you sort of, you know, explain to the parents that this is, you know, a pretty good job potential for your children as well?
All right. I mean, firstly, if we talk about like Puan Sanum was saying, you know, most of these students nowadays, they're different from back then, whereby they only listen to what the parents would say. However, nowadays they're thinking of their own, and there's no use forcing a child to go into something that they're not interested in. So why not pursue their passion, whereby in the beauty line you can earn as much money as you want in any other jobs. You know, and it is well respected as well.
I think a lot of times parents are just worried that, you know, they cannot cari makan after they go into the beauty line or even arts or music or things like that. Do you think, do you have the same opinion as Puan Sanum and Johan that our generation now, like this generation of students, they have their own mind and they know exactly what they want, compared to previously where they just follow on maybe they follow their friends or they follow their parents' footsteps?
I think the key difference between the previous generation and the current one would be the degree of independence in thought and independence in the decision making. It is just the degree of independence, how much parents are willing to allow the child that room to be able to provide input and to be part of that decision making. What has not changed, unfortunately, in higher education is that a study by Penn State University revealed that 80% of students do not really know what they want to do after high school, even if they have some idea of what major they'd like to do. They have some idea, but they haven't quite made up their mind. Another data point is that up to 50% of adults actually regretted the career choices that they had made. So the truth really is that many of our students in Malaysia after Form 5 haven't quite decided what they want to do. They have some idea, and I think the process of making that right choice is a very first step that must be taken well before the results are out. And I would advise parents, as Puan Sanum said, you know, that's something that needs to start when, you know, as early as when they start Form 1 or Form 2, to start looking for that career that suits them best.
Okay. Okay, we're going to go for a quick break right now, but coming back, I'm going to harp on this point. How do we as parents help look for this potential in our child way before the SPM results are out? We're going to go for a quick break, so don't go anywhere. We'll continue our discussion with our panel guests here and find out if parents should have a say on their child's studies and future. It is, after all, their money, right? Or no? Well, more when we return. Welcome back to Bella Society. We're talking to our panel of experts here about the options that high school leavers have after they finish high school. What are some of the options that are available to them, which are plenty, in fact. We have Dr. Pradeep Nair, Puan Sanum, and also Johan Lim here with us. So maybe, Johan, since you're the Business Development Manager of Beaubelle Academy, maybe you can, enlighten us about what Beaubelle Academy does. I know you teach makeup and...
Actually, we don't really teach makeup that much. We don't emphasize too much on the surface kind of like training, because nowadays we look more towards professional knowledge workers, whereby they understand the science behind everything that they do. So it's more scientific based, whereby they learn about anatomy and physiology. So they understand the skin and how it works, and also like how to treat it, in that sense. So we wouldn't say that this profession is too much towards those that are not academically inclined, but more like people that have the passion to make people look pretty, in the end of the day, because everyone wants to look pretty nowadays, you see. And it is definitely a multi-billion-dollar business. And I mean, at Beaubelle Academy, we customize our courses to make sure that it is fine balance between also academic and skill training. So our graduates definitely can demand a higher salary.
So what are the requirements? Let's say I just received my results. What are some? How do I apply to your academy?
I mean, you can always apply. We don't require straight A students. However, if you have straight A's and you have the passion for this industry, I would highly recommend that you come in, give it a go, because we have people that are earning like 5 to 6 figures, after just like 5 years maybe down the road, So
all right. So but a lot of times, right, Puan Sanum, as a parent as well, like if my child were to come up to me and tell me that they don't want to further their studies, especially in the tertiary, in the getting a degree or a diploma or something like that, and they want to do something more vocational, like makeup even, or I don't know, mechanics or to fix cars and things like that. And a lot of times parents are like a bit hesitant because I'm going to pay for your studies, I don't want this to ruin your future, sort of. What would your advice be to those parents?
I would say that they should look a bit further, so that, because there is so much in all this. Not everybody can follow the academic studies, but these children more use their hands, and they are creative in that line. So I think the parents should give them full support, because you don't know in the future, that one child who is a mechanic now, he will be having a multi-million business, So having probably in every town, every state, he's got a company open. So there is a future, and I think people are aware of these things. It's not necessary that the child must go to a university or to a college to further their education, but because there are so many students who want to further their education in the university, well, they go there, and what about the rest? So in Malaysia, I think we have a lot of schools, where, let's say you want to become a mechanic, you can definitely find somewhere that they will give you training, a vocational school. You want to do makeup, then you go and look for Johan. It's easy. Like in a school, as the principal, I try my very best, to raise awareness. In the Beaconhouse school system, we encourage this, where students know that there are so many options out there, whether it's vocational or non. So the children, they are different nowadays. You tell them, look, these are the colleges available, and they will come up with another 10 colleges that they want to go to.
Okay.
So you just have to trigger something within them, you know, get them motivated, get them interested, to get them to look further. So normally I do this right in the beginning of the year, especially if they're Form 5 students. I don't wait until 10 days before the SPM exam results are released.
Okay.
So we start thinking and start focusing, and hopefully, I get better results. So it's still a feather in my cap. Yeah.
Well, Dr. Pradeep, we'll get your opinion after this because we're back in high school. SMK TDDI Yon Lin is there with a student with dyslexia. If you have a sort of a learning difficulty, how difficult is it for you to leave high school and look for a job? That's what we're going to ask our student right now. So, Lin, over to you.
Okay, we're back to Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Taman Dr. Tun Ismail. Now we have a Cassandra with us, and she's actually a dyslexic student, meaning going through dyslexia, you actually have to go through a difficult process of learning. Basically, Cassandra right now is quite satisfied with her results. Would you say that?
Okay, I'm pretty satisfied, not in my aim, but it's all I can ask for. That's all I can ask for. I did my best.
What are the normal challenges that you have faced throughout learning in your high school as a dyslexic student?
Studies, understanding, and trying to catch up to the normal students. Because dyslexia, it was very challenging for me. I found out I was dyslexia after I finished my USR, and it was very difficult for me to catch up and challenging.
What do your parents or your teachers do to actually help you and encourage you throughout your journey, especially during the days before SPM?
My parents was always there for me. They always support me, encourage me, find a best tuition for me, find the best teacher for me, and buy whatever vitamins to give me extra knowledge or energy to study. And yeah, I'm very thankful for their support and encouragement. And also, teachers in SMK TDDI have helped me a lot, I have to honestly say. They have given me support, knowledge I needed, the help, the encouragement, and many more that I needed while in my study SPM.
And what do you have after, what plans do you have after this?
After this, it's just a plan, but I'm planning to go to take part of this transfer program to US to further my studies.
And what do you actually feel like? I understand that you would actually work very hard to achieve on where you are today. Do you have any specific stories or person to thank to?
I want to thank to my parents, my teachers, my tuition teachers, my friends, my best friend, and all my classmates that have been there cheering for me, even though they are not, but they are. I can feel it. I can feel the cheering. Yes, and yeah, I want to thank all of them. Yeah.
And as a dyslexic person, what do you see as your next big challenge after this SPM exam?
Big challenge after this is deciding which course am I going to uni or college, and
what is your personal interest to go for?
Personally, I have a very big interest towards design, and
yeah, I'm quite sure that she's a very artsy person. Okay, thank you very much, Cassandra, and we wish you all the best, and of course your hard work is always acknowledged throughout the process, and that's all we have today at Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Taman Tun Dr. Ismail. We wish everyone, every student from the SPM to get full a better future for you, and it's back to you on the studio for Belinda. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lynn, for all your live courses from SMK TTDI. Now, we were just talking about students with learning disabilities, like Cassandra just said she has dyslexia. What are some of the options for these students, Dr. Pradeep, with learning difficulties to get into colleges or unis?
A lot of it will depend on the discipline that they're applying for.
Okay.
Thankfully, there are many disciplines that don't have an issue if a student is dyslexic, I think that it's important for the parents to declare upfront if the student has any learning difficulties or any disorders that the institution needs to be aware of. Now, back in my university, we have very, very clear, specific, transparent policies and procedures around how do we deal with students with learning difficulties, from the learning delivery itself right through to assessments. There are specific assessments, special type assessments that we cater for this group of students.
I see. Okay. How about those with financial difficulties but will still want to take into tertiary education? What are some of the scholarships out there that they can actually apply for?
There is a host of scholarships that are available. They can be categorized broadly into those scholarships and bursaries or loans that are offered by corporate organizations, government-linked companies, and then there are those scholarships and bursaries that are offered by the private universities or colleges themselves.
Okay.
So I think it would be very good to go to those websites and obtain those information and apply for those. Don't just apply for one, apply for a number of them, so you increase your chances of being able to get at least a scholarship or a financial support.
All right. So Puan Sanum, what are some of your last words to all the school leavers out there or to the parents out there who are still unsure of what they want to do, especially the school leavers?
Well, I would like to wish all of them the very best. I hope that parents, still hold their hands as they are going through the last part of their journey before they get a job. So wish them all the very best.
Okay. How about you? Yeah. How about you, Johan?
No, actually, I would like to just add to the part where you asked for scholarships, right? Well, right now, because we recently been appointed by Ministry of Tourism as a Center of Excellence.
Okay.
And we are actually running a program right now whereby we give out free, a full sponsorship to anyone that wants, that aspires to be spa therapist. And after just 3 months, we will then place them into like any 5-star spas, whereby they can earn a very good income as well, starting from about 1,008 to 2,005.
Wow.
That's before your commission as well. See, so just after 3 months. So anyone that is interested can definitely give it.
Well, the internet is definitely your best friend right now. You can do a lot of research on the internet, find out about scholarships or courses that you want to take. So, yeah, the internet is definitely your best friend right now. Thank you very much to all our guests, Dr. Pradeep, Puan Sanum, and also Johan for being here and helping all our school leavers, choose their options much wisely after leaving high school. Thank you so much for being here again. We're going to go for a quick break, but coming back, we're going to have some updates for you, so don't go anywhere. Now, music can definitely be the connector of men and women and those who are not oppressed. Okay, now tomorrow on the show, Elaine Daly will be talking to a panel of creative personnel about heartwarming festive ads. Okay, during the festive season, we have lots of advertisements coming out, and a lot of them are very heartwarming. If you love those ads, you have to stay tuned to Elaine Daly tomorrow. But that's all the time we have for today's show. To all the SPM leavers, all the best. High school leavers, all the best in your future. I'm Belinda Chee saying thank you so much for watching today's Bella Society. Bye.